Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Namilyango, and with me is the Debate Club of Our Lady of Africa, SS Namilyango. This is Mabonga Isaac, our first speaker. This is Noah Vivian, the third speaker. Then this is Malinga Isaac, the third speaker, the second speaker. Then I, the person speaking, I'm the fourth speaker. Today's resolution states that this House believes that strengthening legal frameworks is the most sustainable way to combat human trafficking. We are going against St.Noa Mawagali.
Hello viewers, this is the debate team from St.Noa Mawagali Senior Secondary School.
Hi everyone, as Our Lady of Africa Namilyango SS, we look at Crossfire as a way to combating human trafficking, because that is one of the resolutions we are having tonight. We look at human trafficking as a problem affecting this nation. So we come in to actually look at this debate as a way to bring up resolutions that are going to help this country.
We expect to have fun, learn new things, make new friends, but most importantly, we are here to win.
House rules. Each speaker has 5 minutes. The first and last minutes are protected. The judge will ring a bell to signal the protected time. The bell will ring continuously after 5 minutes.
The panel of jury, the two antagonistic suspects, the August House at large. Good afternoon. My name is Number Oga Promise from St.Noa Mawagali Senior Secondary School, the first speaker from the affirmative side. The resolution of this states that this House believes that strengthening legal framework is the most sustainable solution to combating human trafficking. Strengthening is becoming more powerful. Framework is the setting of rules used as a basis for making decisions. Sustainable is continued for a long time. Solution is a way of solving a problem, and combating is to stop something unpleasant. Human trafficking is the crime of transporting and controlling people and forcing them to work in the sex trade and other forms of forced labor. Our operation area is Uganda. We, as the Human Rights Commission, in partnership with the Ministry of Internal Affairs as well as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, since one of the ministries has the National Action Plan, which is the Ministry of Internal Affairs, it's going to help us in enacting the law that caters for the employment. We are going to fund activities by the help of the East African Development Bank that provides us funds which will cater for the employment, enforcing and implementing of the laws, and also training the officials on how to prosecute the traffickers. We also sensitize the public about human trafficking by the help of the Uganda Communication Commission. The Parliament will also help us in amending the law that will increase successful prosecution rate to a higher rate so that the traffickers are offended off. We as Team Affirmative, we interpret strengthening legal framework as increasing of the efficiency of the law. Why are we strengthening the legal framework? We as Team Affirmative, the main causes of human trafficking is the weak legal framework and poverty. Why we are strengthening the legal framework is that it has weak legislation, it has inadequate resources, lack of coordination, cooperation, and inadequate victim protection, limited awareness and training. So we are going to strengthen it by amending and enacting laws, by sensitizing the public about the human trafficking and the legal framework. We shall strengthening the legal framework by implementing and enforcing laws along the protection changes for those who will defy the law. In which way? We shall conduct investigation, gather evidence, file changes, and prosecute individuals that violate the law. My dear panel, in addition, this will involve implementing strict penalties or consequences for those who will break the law in order to determine the offenses. This will help to create strong deterrent against the illegal activities. We shall also follow up how to ensure everything is in place. Here, we shall add the periodic evaluation. How? We shall conduct the periodic evaluation and reviews of effectiveness of the anti-trafficking measures in place in order to identify gaps of areas for improvement. Also, the victim support that ensures that appropriate victim support and protection services are in place, including the access of medical care and psychological support. Currently in Uganda, the police annual crime report of 2018 indicates that in 2018 there were 286 reports involving 650 registered victims of trafficking in persons, compared to the 177 reports involving the 355 victims in 2017. According to the Act of 2009, that says the prevention of trafficking in persons. This act provides for the prohibition of trafficking in persons, creation of offences and prosecution. We as Team Affirmative, we shall sensitize the people on human trafficking, internal cooperation, and implement the enforcement. I raise my case, dear panel.
Chair, tomorrow is a dream, not reality, and today is reality, not a dream. And I'll come and back on a story of one of our own Ugandans, Namuli Hadija. She was actually sexually exploited, labally exploited, and tortured. But she traveled in 2019 to Qatar to go and have herself working to look to better her family. But when we come back to tonight's resolution, that's this. This House bill, strengthening legal framework, is the most sustainable solution to combating human trafficking. But as team opposition, we don't believe in that. Because strengthening legal framework actually goes beyond, to combat human trafficking. So, as team opposition, we come in and be like, the solutions rather creating a more comprehensive and multi-faced approach to embark onto strengthening political, social, and economic growth. So, as team negative, we come and create our stand as strengthening political, social, and economic growth. Why do we set this as our stand in tonight's debate? But we believe Uganda actually, as she mentioned, in 2009, the legal frameworks actually have been put in place whereby there are 15 years for adult trafficking, lifetime imprisonment for child trafficking. But these laws have been in place, not granted, please. They have been in place, but what have they done? Probably we are having no effectiveness. They haven't given us any success rates of these laws that are trying to implement and strengthen. But welcoming back to rebuttal, they speak of human trafficking being forcible. They look at this in one side of the mirror that they're actually not seeing. They don't see the other bit of the mirror. But we also believe human trafficking actually comes and stretches out the point of also deception. The bit of deception actually, these people are more willing actually to go just because they have bigger problems in their homes that they actually want to combat. That creates us to go and look for the greater causes of human trafficking. What is causing human trafficking in the first place? Actually, that is the biggest. That's the goat in the house tonight. But when you look at the causes of human trafficking in this house, we have poverty, unemployment, lack of security, societal discrimination. When we look at this, this is what we should be combating actually, so that we can look at the bigger problem. Because with this, if we stop these causes, because not granted, please. When you look at these problems, meaning we're going to be tackling out very many problems. Because I say not granted, please. Hold. When you look at these problems of poverty and unemployment here, we are going to be looking at, without stopping these problems, actually, we are going to continue having human trafficking due, because we are looking at leaving human trafficking out. Chair, going back to real battles, they spoke of the East African Development Bank being their funder, meaning they are going to actually borrow money from this bank. Uganda is already suffering from a deficit budget. How do we come on and begin telling us about the bank? Then they speak of sensitization. In the legal frameworks, don't tell us how they are going to be sensitizing these people. They leave this as a standing point to us. Then they speak of amending the laws. Which laws are they amending? They speak of the 2009 legal framework that was actually brought out, and this framework actually was put in place. Then it was put in place in 2009, but in 2011 to 2021, there was a 49% increase in actually human trafficking. But what does this show us? 80% were sexually actually exploited. 2.57 million were children. We are looking at Africa, where we actually believe these children are our own children, and they're being exploited out there. So, Chair, what are the greater effects of human trafficking? We look at trauma, brain drain, reduction in the GDP. But we come and I bring back the story of Namuli. What do you think Namuli right now is going through? She's going through out of trauma, brain drain, meaning we are having bigger problems, because when you look at we believe the legal frameworks are there, but there's something inhibiting them. We already have those problems are inhibiting them. We have corruption as one of them. Then we have high demand for cheap labor. But as team opposition, when we come and create our stand on embarking strength and strengthening political, social, and economic growth, we are actually going to be tackling out the corruption bit, because we are engaging more political. Then when you look at the social part, this is when we bring in the society. We believe with society we are going to actually embark, because the society, within the society, these people know the people actually carrying out these bigger problems actually. But for that, I raise my case.
This is the High School Crossfire. We'll be back in a minute.